To make matters worse, Kane says the stolen vehicles have been used to commit other violent crimes.
And include robbery and murder. So it's not just the joyriding, which is bad in and of itself.
Kelly says her Zeltos was totaled when police found it days after she reported it stolen. She shared this surveillance video to show the moments after she says a group of boys drove off with it.
They took my car, they flashed their brights to the other kid that was like waiting nearby. He rides his divvy bike up, dumps the divvy bike, and then jumps in the car and they take off. They run a stop sign, they're speeding.
All right, guys. So we're going to be talking about Chicago yet again. I always think that I'm done with the place, but this mayor is such a clown that he just makes content so easy to cover. As you can see from the beginning of that clip and the title here, Chicago blames car makers as thieves live stream their thefts. Now, if you're unaware of what I'm talking about, there's been a huge spike in car thefts in Chicago. And according to the mayor, it's not due to any crime that's happening in Chicago. It's due to the manufacturers doing poor jobs of anti-theft work. And here's a little clip on that.
The mayor of Chicago is now suing the car makers Hyundai and Kia, claiming that their cars are too easy to steal. Mayor Johnson saying, quote, "The failure of Kia and Hyundai to install basic auto theft prevention technology in these models is sheer negligence. And as a result, a citywide and nationwide crime spree around automobile theft has been unfolding. As motor vehicle thefts are up in the city 104% year over year. Look at that, 19,000 car thefts in 2023. Here with reaction, Chicago Alderman Raymond Lopez. Raymond, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve.
What do you make of your mayor saying, we've had like 20,000 car thefts, but essentially it's the car's fault?
Clearly, we don't have a crime problem. We have a Kia problem in the city of Chicago, according to Mayor Johnson.
Right.
And the numbers speak for themselves. 104% increase from last year, a 234% increase in vehicle thefts from 2 years ago. But yet it's the car's fault. It's the fact that they are so easily taken by criminals who run rampant in the city of Chicago. But we have yet to hear our mayor say anything, word one, about the criminals running rampant in our streets. And all he does in turn is lambast the media, lambast those who try to hold criminals accountable by playing word games with individuals, saying that you can't call them mob action because that's little Capones. You can't call them criminal youth because they're just making silly decisions. And the ones who are taking note are the irrepentant individuals who are committed to acts of crime in Chicago.
Yeah, as you can see there, even the reporters here, they realize how dumb this guy is and how dumb this is. And Bloomberg just released an article about this about a few days ago. And it goes on to say, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson has a plan to help tackle soaring car thefts in the city. Sue the automakers. The city has filed a civil suit against Kia Corp and Hyundai Motor Co. for failing to include engine immobilizers in various models, causing a steep rise in vehicle thefts, reckless driving, property damage, and a wide array of related violent crimes in Chicago, according to the statement on Thursday last week. Thefts of Kia and Hyundai cars have surged across the country after social media exposed security flaws, sparking what's been termed the Kia Challenge, where people live stream their larceny. At least 20 state attorneys in the U.S. have urged Hyundai and Kia to enhance anti-theft measures, while New York Mayor Eric Adams has blamed social media for corrupting young people. Now listen, when I grew up, I'm sure the security systems were not as up to date as a lot of these are in a lot of these new vehicles. Did that somehow trigger anything in me to be like, hey, the security in that car is not that great. You know what I should do? I should break into it and steal it. Never once did stealing a vehicle cross my mind. Committing a crime like that. Not even to participate in any of those things that gentleman in the first clip said. Joyriding, assaults, robberies, any of these things. Never once did I have that urge to just steal a vehicle so I could go do any of that stuff. But apparently, it's not these individuals that are the problem. It's the fact that the vehicles have flawed security systems. Now, don't get me wrong, that obviously doesn't help. But again, even if a car had no doors, like some Jeeps or most Jeeps do, you can take the doors off. Never have I been like, oh, the doors are open. Might as well hop into this car, try to hotwire it, and get out of here. Or figure out how to start it and get out of here. Never once has that crossed my mind. And that's not because Jeeps make poor vehicles or because they have the doors taken off or because Kia or Hyundai have poor quality. That's the person making that choice. But as we continue in the article, it says Chicago has been particularly hard hit by vehicle theft, which took off during the pandemic and added a broader concern over spiraling crime, including carjackings. And you could see this throughout not just Chicago, a lot of other high crime areas where they're pulling up to the car, smashing into the window, reaching in, grabbing whatever they can see, laptops, backpacks, this and that, and then just driving off.
He reported it to police more than 7 months ago, but heard nothing, so he called me. I tweeted last week I was researching this story about car break-ins, and pictures from victims came flooding in. Broken glass is such a common sight in San Francisco. So are clips of criminals breaking into cars, even with people inside them. Remember this rush hour heist last year? And this violent robbery of a Canadian camera crew at gunpoint on Twin Peaks 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God, I'm gone. Stay in here. Get down, get down.
Now, for the first time, we're seeing what appears to be the next step in the criminal enterprise. An open-air market for stolen goods at Garfield Square in the Mission District, often when kids are playing soccer just feet away.
But as the Fox News clip said, and this article says, more than 19,000 cars have been stolen in Chicago this year, double last year's figure and 3 times more than 2019. Almost 20,000 cars. And you think that's due to the cars themselves, not the individuals committing the crimes. Some 8,350 Kias and Hyundai vehicles were stolen in the second half of 2022 in Chicago, from just 500 in the first 6 months of the year, according to the city. Johnson then goes on to say, a citywide and nationwide crime spree around automobile theft has been unfolding right before our eyes. Well, yeah, no duh. It's because there's criminals in the area. There's people committing crime. That's why cars are being stolen. I don't understand how he can't connect the two. Yes, a flawed security system is not good, but the flawed security system can't be taken advantage unless you have criminals that are committing the crime. Like, I don't understand how he doesn't see this. Failure to deal with violence is one of the main reasons former Mayor Lori Lightfoot lost her job last year. She was the first mayor to lose a re-election bid since 1983. And believe me, if this continues, I feel like Brett Johnson is also going to follow that same suit. Because ever since this guy has taken office, which it says it's only been 100 days, we've had multiple videos on the chaos that is unfolding in Chicago. But hey, don't take my word for it. You guys can watch the videos. You can look it up. As always, love to hear what you guys have to say about this. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks so much.